All right, y'all. Good morning. Back with another video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this weekend. It was a lot of fun-filled stuff going on in the gaming world. It is Monday and it's back on the grind. So I'm out here, in the sticks. Actually, I'm out here driving in the woods, trying to get these deliveries done, dropping off some of this good product that I'm dropping off. But nevertheless, hopefully you guys are having a great day. Hopefully everything is good. Hopefully the rest of your week goes well and just keep striving to be great. I want to talk about a few things that's regarding the Xbox handheld. So we're going to talk about that. Before I get into that, I want to thank you guys for the support. The live was great yesterday. My son actually got involved. He wanted to talk a little bit. And that was pretty dope. That was pretty cool. And also that it was fun to see the people who came through to interact and the people who support the channel. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are absolutely awesome. So appreciate it. We'll continue to make the content because we are moving up in the right direction. It is all thanks to you guys. All right, now let's talk about Xbox handheld. This thing is a game changer, and the reason why is now it is breaking down all the barriers when it comes to whatever type of exclusivity that you want. And it also make you rethink some things about the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2. When I looked at the Xbox handheld, I didn't think nothing of it when I first saw it when we were live. And I was like, okay, yeah, Xbox handheld, that is pretty interesting. I like it, whatever the case may be. But I kind of brushed it off because I was looking at other games. But as I continued to think about it down the road, I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that they're making a handheld that is, what is it called? A AOG, a ROG, or whatever the case may be, Xbox Ally X or something like that. I was thinking like it's made by Asus, and Xbox is a part of it, and it's going to have Xbox Game Store, it's going to have Steam, Epic, GOG. This is a really big deal. The reason why I say that is because now you're starting to look at an Xbox platform that's going to have Sony games on it, because Sony is not going to step away from the PC market as much as everybody want to think they are. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The money's there. They're actually enjoying the fact that they're putting their games on PC, and it is what it is. But now you are integrating this on an Xbox platform where Xbox is already putting their games on Sony. So it's kind of like the reciprocation in some cases. I don't know if anything's going to be actually on the Microsoft Store, but the fact that you can get this device, play Steam, Epic, and Microsoft games on it, it's a really good deal. It's a really good deal. And I know some people was like, well, what about the Nintendo Switch 2? What about that handheld market? Are they going to carve a space in it? What about the Steam Deck, or whatever the case may be? And I think that Nintendo don't have much to worry about. I'm going to be honest. I don't think, because Nintendo still have this stuff exclusive. And to be honest, if you really think about it, the Nintendo Switch, I hate to say this, and I don't want to say this in a bad way, so please don't take this the wrong way, but the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2, for all intents and purposes, is somewhat of a kid's toy and or man or woman child toy. I mean, it really is. When you look at the games that are on it, Nintendo is, people who love Nintendo are begging and pleading and happy that third-party titles that are somewhat mature are actually on that device. So when you look at the Xbox, the ROG Ally X, or the other one that they have, that is the true handheld for, like people that aren't like men or women children. They don't care about the Marios and Zeldas and Donkey Kongs of the world. See, like, I know I missed out on the Switch because of the fact that I knew how great that game, that console was when I was playing it on the TV. Now, as far as a handheld go, I would try, but I'm gonna be honest, the only thing I would want to play on the handheld side of the Switch is like shoot 'em ups. But I don't see myself really playing like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey or any of those games. I can't see myself playing those handheld wise. It just, I don't know. It's like those are longer games. Now with the Xbox, you can do so much with the Xbox handheld. You can do so much with this thing. People who love handhelds and don't want to be confined with just Nintendo products or other third-party products where they can actually maximize the power of that handheld and play pretty much their entire Steam, Epic games, and Xbox library, and probably in some Sony games, whether it be remote or not. That's the game changer right there, because now you're looking at something where it's going to be very tough for Sony to not necessarily compete, but just to be viable as far as a hardware console. Because now you're looking at places where people are not just going to worry about picking up a console when they can just pick up this handheld and play these games anywhere and everywhere. And that just goes for PC gaming too. Why would you want to pick up a pre-built PC or anything like that when you can pretty much get this handheld and play it wherever you want? A lot of people love this portability stuff, and it's great. Now, for me, I can see myself getting one, but I probably won't because of the handheld factor. It's not my thing, but I look at everybody else who are gamers, and this is going to be a real big deal for them. It's just how it is. And I also feel like the price point of this is going to be justified. A lot of people saying that it is going to be around $800 to $1,000, and I can say it's not going to be $800. To be honest, I would not be surprised if the thing is like $900 to $1,000. And is it worth it? It probably is worth it. When you consider that you could play Epic, Steam, and Microsoft, and possibly Sony, because some of the games that are going to be on Steam, you could play all of those games on this one device. I think it'd be worth $1,000. Just because of the value. Look at the value that you get. You could play all of these games that are, on this device. Some people have hundreds of games on their Steam library. Some people have a good bit of Epic games. Some people got a good bit of games that are on their Microsoft account. I haven't even talked about the Ubisoft platform or the EA platform or the Rockstar client that they have on the PC. All that stuff is going to be on there as well. So yeah, worth it, absolutely. See, this is the thing about the Nintendo product. Nintendo Switch, yeah, $450. Is it worth it? You get to play Switch. You get to play Switch 2 games. You get to play some other, GameCube backwards compatibility, all the Nintendo stuff. You can make the argument that it is, worth the price when you consider all those things. But then again, you look at some of the other things that Nintendo gatekeep, then you start to think, all right, what are we doing here? And that's the biggest issue with the Nintendo Switch, or the Switch 2, because this is all the other things you got to deal with on top of all of that. I feel at the end of the day that the Nintendo Switch is going to be the Switch 2 is going to be in its own lane. That's just the way it is. It's going to be like that. The Xbox handheld is not a Switch killer. No, I don't think that. It's going to be its own thing because the power of Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, and all those other Nintendo IPs are always going to be popular. Always. You got to understand, even though that Mario Kart World is not, all fully fleshed out like the old Mario Kart was, people are still going to buy that and play it. They're banking on possibly another 70 million people to purchase this game, and it's probably going to happen at some point. And even though you have a competitor with Sonic Team, was it Sonic Racing? I can't remember the name of it. You're going to have a competitor that could be on the Xbox handheld as well, that you could play against anybody cross-platform. It's just not going to be enough. That's how powerful Nintendo is. And, their IPs and what they do, even though, I feel personally, the Sonic game is going to be much more fleshed out and it's going to be able to play it on this handheld and with crossplay with other people. Nintendo had their own little ecosystem with their own players on that one game in that one area, and it will still be fine. So I do think it's a game changer overall, but I think Nintendo is not going to be worried. I think Sony is the one that's going to be worried for the most part, and I really feel like this is a really big deal. This is a big deal when it comes to exclusivity, consoles in general. Don't even know what Xbox is going to do. And also, I look at it like this. If Xbox is going to put this on their handheld, it gotta come to their console at some point. Please believe Steam is probably going to end up being on the Xbox series at some point, or the next Xbox. And now you're looking at Xbox like, yeah, they're a third party publisher that makes hardware, and you can play almost anything on it. When you have, and I'll say this again, when you have a platform that you can play your Steam library, your Epic Games library, GOG, Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle is a store. It's not necessarily a place where you play games. I guess you could use it. CD keys, Rockstar. Did I say Epic, EA, because EA has a PC client. When you have all those and you can put all those on one platform, and you don't have to worry about sitting at a desk and play it, or have it on your TV and play it, even though like the handheld is probably going to be hooked up to a TV as well, which is a bigger deal. You got to understand, I'll say this, for you gamers, you can play 2K and Madden on this thing through Steam. You can play 2K and Madden on your handheld through Steam now. You don't have to be, you know, do you know how big of a deal that is? I mean, people don't want to think about it, but that's a really big deal. Also, you can play FIFA on this handheld. That's a really big deal at this point. That's what I'm trying to say. But we'll talk about this more. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I got to get back on this road. I got to get out of these sticks, man. I don't know. Yeah, I got to get out of here. I don't do the woods like this. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. I'm out of here. All right, y'all, be blessed. Peace.